how to do business across multiple states, online and in person. Stay tuned.
Welcome to the WorkHARDAholic Show with your host, the original WorkHARDAholic, Shirley Crawford, author, speaker, and small business consultant for over 20 years, helping you to work hard, play harder, and business better.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to the WorkHARDAholic Show. This is Shirley Crawford, your host, the original WorkHARDAholic, and today, for those of you who don't know, right now, everyone is kind of gearing up for tax season. Deadline isn't here yet, relax, but everyone's kind of preparing for that. So with that in mind, I really want to talk to you all about your sales tax. And so the structure of your business, especially if you're doing business online. So one of the questions I always get is, how do you manage doing business over the internet with regards to sales tax? So there are a lot of interesting things that are happening around this subject matter, and you are not alone in having questions. As a matter of fact, just a few years ago, the Supreme Court had to step in with a case with Wayfair and South Dakota to determine whether or not you could charge a company that didn't have an actual physical presence in your state sales tax. And the answer is, hold on a minute, I'm going to tell you all about it. So there's some information that's involved in determining whether or not that's a yes or a no. So if you are having an online business and you're selling your beanies, your cakes, your whatever it is, from your state to another state, that's not actually enough for you to have to deal with sales tax. Are you breathing a sigh of relief? Don't yet. Every state has its own set of regulations. And this is why I always say it's best to have an expert in your team and your Rolodex, someone that you can access to get more information. Or you can always, I feel like my mother, do the Google. You can always do research to find out more. But the thing is, state regulations are always changing. Everything is constantly changing. So what applies for you today doesn't necessarily apply for you tomorrow. So that's why CPAs, attorneys, tax authorities are very helpful for you to have. And of course, the WorkHARDAholic Show, to at least keep you informed to know when you need to be finding out more information. So going back to that case I was mentioning before, the case was back in 2018. It's a Supreme Court ruling between South Dakota and Wayfair. Wayfair, we've got just what you need. That store, which is large enough to have international campaigns. And they got into some sticky issue situations with South Dakota. And so basically this ruling changed like the real ruler that everyone else was going to use. Keeping in mind, every state is sovereign. Every state, that means every state makes up their own rules. But if you know if it's going to go as far as the Supreme Court, you know what their taking is going to be. I'm going to tell you all about that in just a second. So the bottom line is, because this is really what you want to know, if you are selling over $100,000 of merchandise in one state or doing over 200 transactions a year, you are liable to pay sales tax to that state. All right. So if you're like, well, I'm only doing 10, I'm only doing 5, that's fine. But you should be measuring that to know because it applies for each state. So for a lot of us small business owners, we're like, oh, 100,000 is anything. But if you're selling 200 transactions at 50 cents each, it still counts. So you need to be aware of that piece of information because the other factors that can apply as to whether or not you have to deal with sales tax for each state that you deal in are going to be your employees and where they're located. Where is your headquarters? So where's your domestic LLC, if that's you, if S Corp, C Corp, versus where your foreign LLCs or entities. I'll talk about that in just a minute. Where's your inventory stored? And amount of the product that you sold in a particular state. I just told you if it's $100,000, you know automatically you need to be paying sales tax. And then always knowing the resource that you can deal with to help get that going. So that's the basis of letting you know whether or not you need to be dealing with the sales tax. So once again, that $100,000 mark or 200 transactions, and it does not matter the value of the transactions. That tells you automatically whether or not you need to deal with sales tax. So I want to give you some compliance tips. And these are courtesy of Business News Daily. And so I want to share these with you because these are going to be vital for the lifespan of your business. And so the first thing is, I just said $100,000. Well, how do you know which state you sold it to? How do you know how much you're selling in one state versus another state, right? So you want to set up a system for tracking your e-commerce sales tax, okay? You also want to make sure you're setting up a system to know what the sales tax are in each state. And this has nothing to do with internationally, because then like here, we know that if you're in the US, you file with the SEC, you have your EIN, but if you're international, you need your VAT and some other things. So we're not even getting to that, but just know that there's a different setup depending on where you're actually doing the business. Monitor your sales tax rates in all states. Track every single penny, period. If you're making the money, make sure you're tracking it and where you're selling it to. Track each state's payment deadlines. So, and that also goes back into knowing how to pay or to remit sales tax. So if you know that I'm in Virginia, and so we always talk about the DMV, but really we're not the same state, right? Each one is separate. And if you're doing business in each, then you have to actually know, are you meeting the sales threshold? And if so, how much sales tax do you need to pay? And how do you remit it? And when is it due? Those are going to be very vital. And then also, if you're approaching that threshold, you're going to need to apply for your sales tax permit. So even though you think, hey, I'm just going to send them money, they're going to take it, not exactly. You need to actually apply for a sales tax permit, and you know when you need it if you're approaching that 100,000 threshold or the 200 transactions. Now, keep in mind, it's different per state, but that's a great place to at least have a bookmark, a place mark to say, if I'm approaching this, I know I need it. You want to understand the penalties for making mistakes and not filing, because it could be your business. It could not just be your business, but it could be liens and all kinds of financial penalties. As I said before, the IRS is the biggest gangster known to all mankind. And then the last thing that I would say is consult an expert. I'm giving you a heads up, but that's where you want to start to take that information and meet with your CPA, your tax authority, or your attorney. All right. So hold on tight. We have more information to share about doing business within your state or multiple states. See you in just a moment.
Ladies, are you looking to move your office from your kitchen table to a space of your own? Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you looking for co-working and community? Well, then come join us at the Women's Business Center, RVA, located at 1510 Willow Lawn Drive, Suite 100, directly across the street from the Kroger at Willow Lawn. Visit us on the web at wbcrva.com or on social media at WBCRVA. When you're ready for more than just office space, come join the WBCRVA family.
Are you only identified as mommy, as the employee, as the worker bee? You know what? It's time for you to be identified as you. There is more to you than your function for others. Come discover it at the Diva Mastermind Retreat. That stands for doing it very authoritatively. It's time for you to find your voice, find your place, and make your mark. Join us October 7th through 11th this year in 2024 in Outer Banks, North Carolina, where we'll help you with mastermind moments. We'll help you with seminars, sessions, and the camaraderie of other boss ladies just like you. Don't forget to join us for the fun. Visit Diva Mastermind at groovepages.com to get your ticket today. Only 3 spots left. We'll see you then.
Wouldn't it be convenient and safe to communicate with your dentist, pediatrician, medical doctor, or mental health professional anywhere you are without actually traveling to our medical centers?
Well, you can with a televisit at your local Capital Area Health Network. Call us at 780-0840 or go to cahealthnet.org. Find out how a televisit may be your best option. We are the Capital Area Health Network, the heart of the community.
Life can be a struggle. Find hope, healing, and answers at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place to encounter God through uplifting worship, singing, prayer, the preach word, and fellowship. One step can change your life. One step could shift your destiny. There has never been a better time to take that step than now. Come be our guest every Sunday at 10 a.m. at the Abundant Life Church of Christ, a place where you belong.
All right, we're continuing our conversation about what you need to understand about doing business in multiple states. So we started off talking about online because a lot of us don't really think about the fact that that means you're oftentimes doing business outside of your domestic state, right? And so rewind, go back, rewatch, go to YouTube and catch it again if you missed it for some reason. But we've already talked about how do you know when you need to pay sales tax to the different states that you're doing business. There's some thresholds. We already went over that. Go back and look at that. I want to go a step further and talk about when do you need to set up a foreign entity? And you think that means, oh, I'm going to set up in Dubai. Good for you. But that's not what it means. A foreign entity is anytime you're operating outside of your home state. So this information applies for those of us who are doing business in the U.S. So for those of you watching elsewhere, hi, just pause and listen in case you decide to do business here as well. So most of us, when we start off with an LLC. I am not telling you which one you should start off with. I'm just saying most people start off with a limited liability corporation. We've talked previously about a sole proprietorship versus obtaining an entity and the reasons why that's important. Please go back and check our Rolodex, our library to find that information. But for right now, as I said, most people start with an LLC. You can have an S Corp or C Corp, B Corp, whatever it is. There's a difference between is it domestic or is it foreign? Domestic means you are set up in your home state. So where is your business headquartered? Where is your business located? I am in the state of Virginia. So I have filed with the State Corporation Commission here in Virginia as a domestic corporation. If I am doing a certain level of business or have a sustained presence in other states, then I will be obligated to have an LLC in each of those states. We're going to talk in a minute about when you know that you need to do that, but that's called a foreign LLC. It's not a different country, it's a different state. Because once again, all the states within the states and the districts and the commonwealths of the United States all operate separately. And that's why we have separate bodies of government for each state, for each entity. Okay? So with that in mind, if you're going to do business I'm in Virginia, it's very easy for us to do business in the District of Columbia or Maryland or even North Carolina. Then if I have a certain level of business that I'm doing, if I have a sustained presence in any of them, then I have to register with each one separately. In my home state of Virginia, I'm a domestic LLC. If I'm in DC, Maryland, North Carolina, the ones that are surrounding me, then I become a foreign LLC. Okay, got that basic piece? Now, let's talk about when you have to do that. So before we were talking about doing business online, if we're talking about even doing business physically, if you are only having a couple of sales, you sell $15 cakes. I hate to talk about food because food has so many regulations, but just an example. You sell 3 $15 items to someone who lives in DC. That's really not enough of a threshold for it to matter, for you to have to set up a foreign entity in DC. But here's how you know that you do. The normal reasons why you have to register as a foreign LLC are any of these, right? You have a physical presence as an office, warehouse, or retail store in that state. Then you definitely need to have a foreign LLC. You have employees in that state providing services to clients in that state. Now, this is not the same as remote work. So we have people working remotely. I have friends, God bless them, who are still working for companies here in Virginia, but have basically moved shop and are living in Florida. Good old sunny Florida, especially right now. So that doesn't make it a necessity for their companies to have a foreign LLC because the employees, although they're in Florida, they're still registered here. They're not servicing clients in Florida. They're still servicing the same clients they had when they were here in Virginia. Okay? If you have company-owned vehicles making deliveries or pickups in other states, then more than likely you need to go ahead and file a foreign LLC. If you have a certain amount of sales in the state, and that's usually, the value is normally taken by how much the amount of sales as opposed to the number of sales. But keep in mind, we have that Supreme Court threshold of 200 transactions. So even though it might be 200 $1 transactions, you still might really want to be aware of the sales tax for the area that you are operating in. So the basic summary of when you know whether or not you need to apply for a foreign entity status in another state is you buy or rent real estate there. You have maintained a substantial presence. And substantial presence, there are definitions out there, but you kind of know. If you're spending a bunch of your time down in another state drumming up business or doing business, you can kind of figure out for yourself that you have a substantial presence. Or if you employ people in that state, especially to do business with people in that state, then you're going to need to visit your state corporation commission and set up for a foreign LLC. I did want to go back and share also when we're talking about the online piece of if you have sales tax and, when you have to collect sales tax from your customers. And so for those of you who your brain is overheating thinking about that, don't worry. There are some platforms that have that sales tax piece already embedded in them. Okay? So if you have your own shopping cart on your website, you might not have this set up. But if you're using any of these platforms, they already have it set up. So those are Shopify, Square, Clover, PayPal, and Vend. They already offer the sales tax solutions in their POS systems, so point of sales services. So when you use any of those, they're already figuring out the sales tax piece. All right. So we really wanted to make sure that you knew exactly when you have to file as a foreign LLC, a foreign entity, and when you have to deal with sales tax, if it's online or especially online for your websites and your platforms. All right, stay tuned. We have more information to help you do business better right after this commercial break.
Listen, attorney Alex Taylor is a soldier in a suit, defending anyone with criminal charges, DUIs, and more. Call Alex Taylor, your soldier in a suit, at 804-500-5000.
I'm Alex Taylor. Don't face your criminal charges alone. Put a former prosecutor with 30 years of experience on your side. Let me show you how a soldier fights for your freedom.
Call 804-500-5000 or go to alextaylorlaw.com. During these challenging times, Richmond Dentistry for Children wants to remind you that we've been here for you and your children for over 25 years. Your child's body is their temple, and their teeth are the doorway to good health. We provide compassionate pediatric dental care Monday through Friday. Call 804-780-2888 for your appointment, or come to our office at 300 West Broad Street. RichmondDentistryForChildren.com, serving Central Virginia. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
In honor of the Women's Business Center RVA 5-year anniversary, the countdown is on. Ladies, it's time for the WBC RVA Toolkit. You don't want to miss it. It means every Thursday you co-work not for free, but it's included. So that's co-working every Thursday. Each month there's one seminar and one group coaching. So all day Thursday you can come hang out here at the Women's Business Center RVA, and it's just $25 a month. Tell them about it, Joanne.
Yes. And a couple of the topics that we will be talking about, discussing and reviewing and going through are starting a business the right way, because we do want to start off the right way. We're also going to talk about a business model canvas and how your company creates value for its customers. Also goal setting, which is very important. Finances, even developing your pitch, also social media distribution and content, and much, much more. So we are excited about seeing you there. So you can register today at WBCRVA.com.
Got a question about your small business? Trying to figure out what to do to start a business? Are you a C-suite executive trying to figure out some leadership tools and resources that you need? Well, we've got answers for you. Submit your questions, concerns, thoughts to admin@WorkHARDaholics.com. That's WorkHARDaholics.com. And you might hear your question, or at least the answer to it, on our next episode.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, so we've been talking about all the ways you have to pay money with regards to sales tax. So I really wanted to flip the script a little bit and talk about ways that entrepreneurs make money, especially ways that entrepreneurs can start making money. So I have 10 ways that entrepreneurs can get started making money. Outside of the obvious, if you're not able to just jump in and start doing your business, or you've started your business and you have groundwork, you have, platforms you have to build, things have to happen, and you still want to find ways to make money coming in now rather than later, I have 10 ways to share with you. The first way is arbitrage. Arbitrage. I always love that word. And so here's the thing. Arbitrage is the way of basically making money off of someone else. It's someone else's product, someone else's service, and you're a third party, like making it all happen. So one of the ways that I first learned about arbitrage, I was dealing with clients of mine. And so they would go out to thrift stores or other locations. Even some people even do this with like Walmart. And so what they do is they buy things that are on sale or marked down much less than the actual value, and they sell it to someone else. That's it. That's all, folks. That's all they do. And they make a decent amount of living on that. So you can go through your house. Well, we'll get to that one. But when we talk about arbitrage, a lot of people do it. You can go physically do the shopping yourself. So like I know I've had clients that go into thrift stores and find rare books. And so they find a rare book. They bought it for $2.95. They sell it for $295 or more. But if you're not the one who wants to sit around with your scanner and the software and find out the value of a product and do all the homework, if that's not you, there are other options. So one of them is Source Mogul. And so what Source Mogul does, it's really for Amazon affiliates. It scans 80 million products every month, and it tells you which ones are really selling. So that's a shortcut for you to know, okay, well, I want to find this item. I want to put it in my cart, in my store. I want to give my link because it's one of the items that's really popping right now. Another option is the one that most of the people that I know do. There's Alibaba or AliExpress. And so a lot of people are shopping on Temu, but here's the thing, it can also operate for arbitrage. So if you're finding an amazing product, I don't have my Temu stuff with me right now, and you can buy it in bulk and you can sell it. That's the way it works, right? eBay has that option as well. And then a site that I haven't heard too many people talk about is called Made-in-China, right? So you think Alibaba, Temu, they're all going to be China, Japan, etc. Finding it for less, selling it for more. That's the bottom line. The second way that entrepreneurs can start making money now is write a book. Now, for some of you, that could take 6 months, a year. For some of you, you're using a PLR, right? And what that means is someone else wrote it and they've given you license to take it, rebrand it, and sell it. And when you're getting started, I guess that's okay. I guess because I'm into intellectual property, that I want to know that I have the rights to everything that I write. It's mine. It's from all these years, these decades of learning and educating myself. And that's what I'm sharing. But for those of you who just want to be able to say you're an author, PLRs are a great way to go. What can I say? They're already made. All you have to do is buy the service. You can get a certain amount of them, send them out into the world. All right. A third way is affiliate marketing. So if you don't want to go find a service, go find a product, then you can actually register with an affiliate marketing agency, right? So we know that you can do that with Amazon. They have Amazon affiliates, but there are other options as well that you can become an affiliate. I like affiliates or affiliations with companies that I use. So right now I am in the application process for an affiliate with an accounting firm company, because like right now we talk about taxes and money. It's important. It's something that I actually relate to, as opposed to, I don't know, a vitamin supplement affiliate. That's not really my area of expertise, although they are very, very lucrative. Not really my thing. Okay. So I always recommend finding an affiliation with something that you actually use and that you can actually stand behind. I am a Groove affiliate. Use that all the time. Okay. The fourth way are digital products. Such an amazing game changer. make it once, sell it all the time, do it in your sleep, put up some ads, put it out there. And digital products can go from everything from ebooks to stickers or wallpaper or logos, or there's so many options, checklists. I mean, there are all kinds of things that you can make, okay? Number five, courses, webinars. Now, while some of these items are not things you produce overnight, but if you're like I am, you probably already have videos, information. I've taught so many classes. I actually intend to this upcoming weekend, to convert one of my old classes that I did online into my next webinar. All right. Number 6, sell your services on the short term, right? You can easily become a consultant, a contractor, I should say. And you can use Fiverr, Upwork. There are lots of options out there for you to be able to say, here I am, this is what I do, and be on someone else's platform and be part of their marketplace. Okay. And it's more than just like computer services. If you are an electrician, Angie's List, like there's all kinds of options out there for you to post yourself as and provide your service. One of the ones that I keep saying I'm going to focus on is number 7, and I promise I'm going to focus on it this year, and that's YouTube monetization. And so, like, there are rules to the game, things you need to learn, things you need to understand, but people are killing it. People are making a really good living because they either maximize the shorts, or now YouTube is actually leaning towards longs again. But once you get the following, then YouTube actually pays you to place ads. Like, it's monetization for things you're creating already, hopefully, because we're all making video, right? We all are. If you're not, please do. Okay? Outside of that, though, you still have the options for a vlog, which would be your video blog, or a blog itself, another way that you can make money. Number 8 is the one that I normally recommend first. Sell what you have, right? It's time for that yard sale. You have things in your home that are worth something already. So you can clean up your trash, clean up your area, and make money at the same time. And so there are also other options, a TikTok store, a Facebook marketplace. Like right now, I'm still looking for a softbox light because I'm jealous of Christina's, and I'm trying to find it on a deal. So I'm living on Facebook Marketplace. I might have to go to the store and grab one on my own, but that's the kind of thing. Number 9 is one that people frown on, but it's something that I have done repeatedly over the years, and that's part-time employment until you make the money that you need to invest in your business. And right now, it's so easy in this gig economy to find ways to work and still have time to do your business, all right? So we got DoorDash, Shipt, Uber, Lyft. Like there's so many other options of remote work options that are out there. And so back when I did it, I did night auditing for hotels, which meant that I was up all night working, and then I would take a quick nap, and then I'd work all day on my business stuff. And so now there's so many easier options. Number 10. Just start doing your business or your service on a small scale until you've made enough to level up. All right. So I'm going to review that list again. So 10 ways that entrepreneurs let's try that again. 10 ways entrepreneurs can get started making money now. Number 1, arbitrage. Number 2, write a book. Number 3, affiliate marketing. Number 4, digital products. I love number 4. Number 5, courses or webinar. Number 6, Fiverr, Upwork, sell your services. Number 7, YouTube monetization. Number 8, sell what you have. Good time for a yard sale. Number 9, find a part-time gig to make some money. And number 10, start doing your business now. Okay, so hopefully today you've learned a lot about doing business online with regard to sales tax. You learned about doing business across state lines legally. And you've also learned some ways that you can make some money while you're making your vision happen. So, as we always say, live better, do better, be better, and happy entrepreneuring. Ta-ta!
Like, share, subscribe, repeat. Like, share, subscribe, repeat. 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 Thanks for tuning in to WorkHARDaholics. Support our show by following on YouTube and all major social media platforms at WorkHARDaholic. Until next week, happy entrepreneuring.